Hi guys, so what we're going to do right now is we are going to multiply and divide complex numbers, okay, in polar form. So we are not going to switch them back to their complex form a plus bi. We're going to keep them in their polar form. Now sometimes this is easier, okay, sometimes not. All right, so we have two formulas, okay. Our multiplication formula looks like this. So if I have two complex numbers, let's call one z1, which is r1 cosine theta 1 plus sine theta 1, okay, and z2, we'll call that r2 cosine theta 2 plus I sine theta 2. Their product, z1 times z2, will look like this: r1 times r2, parentheses, cosine. Now this is, you add the angles. Okay, so you multiply the radius or the modulus and you add the angles. Okay, so let's try one. Okay, so let's see. I have z1 is equal to 3 cosine pi over 4 plus I sine pi over 4. And then z2 is 2 cosine 3 pi over 4 plus I sine 3 pi over 4. Okay, so we're just going to follow our formula. Okay, so if I multiply z1 times z2, multiply the r's, 3 times 2, and then we're going to add the thetas. Okay, so we got 6 cosine pi plus I sine pi, like that. Now, you can leave it like that, but most of the time what they'll do is they'll have you kind of simplify it out if you can. This is on the unit circle. So cosine of pi is going to be -1 plus I. Sine of pi is 0. So 0. So your answer is a -6. Okay? And that's it. All right, let's try another one. So z1 is 7, let's say cosine 3 pi over 2 plus I sine 3 pi over 2. And then z2 is 3 cosine pi over 2 plus I sine pi over 2. Now, if you want to, you could convert these back to a plus bi, but it, you know, up to you. Okay, so we're going to go z times z2. Sometimes that might be harder. 7 times 3. Now we're going to add our thetas. So we got 21. Let's see, 3 pi over 2 plus 1 pi over 2, that's 4 pi over 2, which is 2 pi. So cosine 2 pi plus I sine 2 pi. So we're going to simplify that. So 21 cosine of 2 pi is 1. Sine of 2 pi is 0. So 21. Okay? All right. So that's pretty straightforward. It's just the application of a formula. All right, let's talk about division. Okay, so this is kind of a similar formula. So we're going to keep our definition, so we're going to do z1 divided by z2. So instead of multiplying our radius, we're going to divide them. And then we're going to subtract our thetas. Okay, again, let's do some examples. Let's do z1 is 24. This one we'll do in degrees. Cosine 300 degrees plus I sine, whoops. Okay. And then z2, 8. Cosine 75. I sine 75. Okay, so again, follow the formula. So we're going to go 24 divided by 8, cosine 300 minus 75, and then I sine 300 minus 75. Okay, so that would give me 3, and that would give me cosine of 225 plus I sine 225. Let's see. Now let's convert it back to our complex form. So cosine of 225 is going to be negative radical 2 over 2. Plus negative sine of 225 is negative radical 2 over 2i. Now we're going to distribute the 3. So my final answer is and we're done. Okay. All right. Let's do one more. Okay. Let's do z1 is 12. Let's do cosine of 90 degrees plus I of 90 degrees sine. Z2 is 3. Let's do, whoops, cosine of 30 degrees plus sine 30 degrees. Okay, following your formula. Z1 divided by Z2. We're going to go 12 divided by 3. And then we're going to subtract our angles. So cosine 90 minus 30 plus I sine 90 minus 30. So we get 12 divided by 3 is 4. Cosine of 60 plus I sine of 60. Okay, we're going to figure out what that is based on our unit circle. 60 degrees is on your unit circle. So 60 degrees is, cosine is 1/2. Okay, sine of 60 degrees is radical 3 over 2 I. Don't forget the I. And now we're going to distribute our 4. And now we're going to simplify. And there's your answer. Okay? All right. So next up, we're going to talk about powers and roots. And those I think you'll find interesting. Okay? All right.